Meow, 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 meow. Welcome to another video from Cardboard East. My name is Jay. I play board games from Asia and share what I find with all of you. Today, we're talking about the Korean publisher, Playte. Now, if you've never heard of Playte, they specialize in making these small box games, and they do lots of fascinating things with their packaging. They have these L-shaped series where the board and the box are one, and then they also have these small box games here. They have some games that have holes in the boxes where you put your phone in. Absolutely wild. They also have these bigger box versions of the L-shaped boards where, yeah, the box itself is also the board of the game. Now, I am not going to review all these games in this video. It's a little bit much, so I thought, what should I do? Well, if you're going to Spiel, the largest board game convention on the planet, this October, you can stop by the Playte booth in Hall 6, D310. And they're giving away this. No, it's not a game. It's a shipping container. And more importantly, it's the Playte shipping container. What the deal is that this will be 80 euros, and regardless of what the MSRP is for any of these games, you take them, you squeeze them in the box, and whatever fits in here, all this together is just 80 euros. So you're probably thinking, if I went to that booth and I had to put everything into my container, what would I choose? Well, good news for you is that I'm going to do that just now. I'm not going to do a top 10 or a top 12. I'm going to do my Playte container list of games. Meaning that if I went to Playte booth to get a container, these are the games that I would recommend putting in yours. So let's start off with my favorite Playte game, and that is Orapa Space. Now, Orapa Space is the version of Orapa Mine, but in space and with magnets, because magnets are awesome. But Orapa Space takes up a lot of space in our container, so I'm gonna have to pass on Orapa Space and go with Orapa Mine. Now, if you've never heard of Orapa Mine is a two-player abstract deduction game. It's basically a better battleship. Now, my favorite mechanic in Orapa Mine is just the laser deduction. By laser, meaning that you're gonna look at this grid and you're gonna choose where you're gonna send a laser from. So maybe you'll give a letter like J, or maybe you'll give a number 10. And then your opponent is gonna trace where your laser entered, all the objects that it hits, and all the objects that it bounced off of, and then tell you where you exit, and then tell you what color your laser is. If it's blue, you know you only hit the blue piece. If it's red, you only hit the red piece. If it's purple, you can deduce that it hit the red and the blue piece. So slowly but surely, you're gonna be deducing where all the objects are on your player's board. First player to correctly identify where all the shapes are and their exact location wins Orapa Mine. Now, what I absolutely love about this game is the unique level of deduction. I've never seen something like this with lasers. I do want to point out, though, that it does say it's 2 to 5 players. Really, it's a two-player game. This is meant for two people to combat with each other, trying to deduce each other's boards as quickly and efficiently as possible. And I absolutely love that in every game that I played of Orapa Mine, be it a two-player or a multiplayer game, there's always going to be one player who's going to say, no, that's wrong. You're reading it wrong. You told me the laser came out this way. No, that's wrong. And I'm thinking in my mind, like, no, I'm pretty right. This is exactly right. When I show it to you, you'll understand. And what's so fascinating is that even as small as a box as this, and even Orapa Space, they come with expansions. They come with extra components that have special properties that you could toss in to your games. So for example, in Orapa Space, there is a black hole which will bend the laser if the laser goes past it. Therefore, making you think that maybe it bounced off something when it didn't. It was just warped by space-time by a black hole. There's an object in Orapa Mine that just absorbs all the light. So if a light hits it, it just disappears. And then you have to slowly deduce why that happened. But Orapa Mine is my favorite game from Playte, and it should easily be your #1 choice when you build your container. Now, my second suggestion is a little bit of a cheat. I don't have it for plates, but I do have the original copy. Now, how do I know that Playte has it? Well, if you go to their website, it's right there. And you must absolutely pick up Gachipon Trick. Now, Gachipon Trick will come in a case, a box, roughly the same size as Orapa Mine. So we're going to plop it right in there as I tell you about the game. Gachipon Trick is basically Gachipon. And if you don't know what Gachipon is, here's some images that from online that you must absolutely see. This is an absolutely addictive hobby in Japan and has spread worldwide. So if you don't know what Gachipon is, where have you been? Gachipon Trick takes Gachipon, trick-taking, and set collection and combines it all into one tons of fun gaming experience. This is my favorite kind of trick-taking game where the rules are not too complicated, but it's kept very simple. Essentially, it's must follow. So if I lead green, then everyone must play green. If you don't have green, you could play any color you want. And so the question is, who wins the trick? It's not the player of the highest color of the led suit. It's the highest ranked card of the most commonly appearing suit. So meaning if I lead green and then other people can't follow with red and red and red, well then whoever played the highest red card is going to win. And not only do they win, they get a chance to buy Gachipon. And the winner is going to use their own money, aka their points, and buy Gachipon. And there's a set collection rewards. And you can even buy blind, just like an actual Gachipon experience, where you can just draw the top card of the deck and just you get what you get. Now, why do I love this game? Number one, it's a really good game. The design is fantastic. Number two, the art is done by none other than Tai Beppu, one of the greatest illustrators in Japan. I love the art, I love the theme, I love the mechanics. The only thing I didn't like was that in the original version, this little tiny box, there's no money. So you would have to either follow it on pen and paper or use poker chips like most people that I played with use to keep track of how much money that you have. Now, while I've never seen the Gachipon Trick plate version, or the plate version of Gachipon Trick English, it does come in a pretty hefty sized box, which leads me to believe that they've included some sort of chips or cardboard or punch board that allows you to use as chips and money throughout the course of the game. And if you're looking for a good meaty card game with a little bit of a twist, Gachipon Trick is not going to lead you astray. Meaty card game, meaty two-player abstract. Now we need a party game, and that is Mino Dice. This is essentially Skull King, the dice game. Now, if you're looking for like a tight trick-taking game experience where you're counting cards, that is not what this is. You will most likely enter disappointed. If you're looking for a fun, explosively fun party game experience with tons of dice chucking, Mino Dice is your home. My favorite mechanic of Mino Dice is the actual dice themselves. This is just like a must-follow trick-taking game. Oh, you lead blue? Well, then I have to play blue. And if I don't have blue, I can play anything else that I want. But I know that I have blue, it's a blue die, but I don't know what the rank is until after I roll it. So you could lead blue with a 2, and then I roll a 4, being a little bit higher. And it's extremely, extremely fun. In addition to that, I really love this game at the lower player counts. Now it plays up to 6, but I don't recommend it at 6. I recommend it at a lower player count. The reason why is because you'll have a bag of dice, this huge bag of dice. And in a 6-player game, all the dice are evenly distributed. But in a lower player count, some dice are going to remain in the bag, and you don't know what those dice are, meaning that there's going to be fuzziness around the table. You have no idea if every blue is going to be in the game, or every green dice is going to be a game, or if every Trump die is going to be in the game. There's a lot of fuzziness there, and that leads to a lot of fun, aha, explosive moments, which you're looking for in party games and in dice games. One of the things I absolutely love about Skull King and Mino Dice is I love watching other people teach it. And I don't like teaching it myself. I just love other people teaching it and just seeing the expressions of other people's faces, because the theme is just so ridiculous. It sounds like someone on meth kind of made the theme of this game. You got a minotaur, and the minotaur is going to be eaten by a griffin. Or if you have a griffin, it could be eaten by a mermaid, but the mermaid might eat your minotaur. And you're like, what are you talking about? it's, it's just so completely ridiculous. I absolutely love explaining the theme and seeing everyone's face just kind of melt. I also love how you can shoot the moon in this game, which is extremely difficult because you don't have that much control, but short shooting yourself just right, you can allow yourself to shoot the moon, and like at the end of the round, you get like 80 points in the final round, which is absolutely ridiculous. But that leads to what I love most about this game is that it's a dice game and it's a party game, and it has those high highs, those low lows, and just bursts of explosive energy where people are standing up and rolling their die and screaming, and it's a loud, fun game. Tons of fun in a box. Mino Dice. So grab Mino Dice and slide it into your container. Now that we got a fun party game in the mix, I want something that's a little bit more serious. And I also want to celebrate the L-shaped box. So we need to get a big box from Playte Games. And out of all of them, they're all good. I don't think you can go wrong with them. Pueblo was probably my favorite there. Tonga Bonga is an excellent choice. Sardinia is an excellent choice. This version of Liar's Dice is probably the best version of Liar Dice I've ever seen. But I think I'm going to go with Big Shot for this recommendation. This is a serious, strategic, auction bidding, area control game. And what I love most about these L-shaped series, where this unfolds into the game board itself, is that it takes classic games. I mean, Big Shot came out in 2001. They take classic games, put them in a small box, but give it a big box production and feel. And in the 2020s, when everyone's a lot more mobile and on the go, small box games just win. Hands down, my favorite mechanic in Big Shot is the auctioning and bidding. You're just bidding on these random lots of cubes. And these cubes are everyone's cubes. Maybe a little bit of blue, a little bit of purple, a little yellow, and you're auctioning them off. And then when you win, you can place them anywhere you want. You can put them all in location A, location B, a little bit of location C, put them all in the same one or spread them all out. It's completely up to you where you put your opponent's cubes and your own. And yes, and when you get to like 7 cubes or whatever, like that area is sold, and then whoever wins, it comes to first, second, third place, gets X, Y, Z points. Now, if that were just the game, I probably wouldn't like it. That if first and second place tie, then they're both wiped out and third place takes it all. And that is brilliant. It turns this auction game into something far more sinister. So if, for example, you have 2, 1, 1, where I just have 1. Now, I could invest 3 cubes and maybe win this whole area, or maybe just 1 cube. So now first and second place are tied, and then it's just me that wins. So you could spend a lot of money to invest in yourself and make sure you win, or you could spend just a little bit of money to knock out the people ahead of you. And that makes this game incredibly tight and uncomfortable, because you have this sense that you're never safe. And it's always about that ebb and flow, always about your wins and your losses, looking at the 18 auction off spaces left and which one is going to come up next, how many of your cubes are still left. So deciding how aggressive you want to be. Brilliant. And you get that big box game, big box feels in a small box and in 30 minutes. So Big Shot goes right into your container. So we have a serious card game. We have a 2-player abstract. We got a fun party game, and we got a serious auction bidding game. Now we just need something cute and cozy just to give us that Sunday brunch vibes. And I gotta go with Meow Dice. This game is ridiculously cute. How cute? So cute that at the Playte booth at Gen Con this year, this was the #1 sold game out of the entire line. And it even sold out. Meow Dice is just a meow, chill, cozy cat vibe game. And it's essentially just a Yahtzee variant where you're rolling your dice. But the dice are cats! Now, one of the mechanics that I really enjoy about this game is how it chose to do the reroll. Now, everyone has their own unique dice, and they're all unique cats, which is so much fun. It didn't have to do that, but Playte did that, and it makes it just that much more cozy. and you roll all 4, then you can roll 3, 2, 1. So your re-rolls, you're always re-rolling fewer and fewer dice, which is really cool because it helps you keep count in your mind of how many more re-rolls you have left. Now, while that can be problematic and a little bit random, the advanced play, which I always recommend you play with, adds more cute factor because you have a token that's just a cat head, and it allows you to mitigate your die rolls in a fun and very clever way. But what I absolutely love about this game are the dice. The cute, cozy dice that are, I don't want to say anatomically correct, but like the front side is a face, so the other side is a tail. These are the sides of the cat. This are the feet, and this is a heart which you put on top of the cat. But anyway, adorable, super adorable, ridiculously adorable, and the art just pushes it over the top. It is not earth-shattering, it's not groundbreaking, but it is good enough to warrant more plays, and it's super cute and cozy. Perfect for that Sunday brunch vibe. And it is the best of the Meow Meow series. Now, that's a little weird to say, but there are other cat games like with Meow in the title from Playte. And I gotta say that Meow Dice is my favorite of them. Meow, 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 meow. Now, before we finish our container, I do want to mention that these are not necessarily my favorite of the Playte series. This is just what I think is perfect for a container. Truth be told, the Playte game that I play the most is by far this one. Game Track Tower. This is not even a game. This is just a dice tower, and you open it up. It could be a dice tower, and it comes with these little things, and they could slide together, and you could do this, and you could hold your cards, or you could do this multiple times, and it forms a hexagon. That's a dice tray. Wow. And the cool part about this is that this is actually pretty quality, and it's really strong and sturdy, and it's something that I've never seen other publishers do, because this fits in the same box size with their game line. But I use this quite often when I game. I use this in quite a lot of games, and I really enjoy it. This is probably easily my most open box. Another one that I've been looking at quite often, even though I do have my own poker chips, I use the railway chips. These railway chips are tiny, tiny little poker chips made for Playte. Now, when I'm playing this game, like maybe even Big Shot, I'll take these out and do it. And these are not punch board. These are nice plastic chips. And it's really, really cute. I didn't think that I would use this as often as I had, but like taking these as opposed to those, and these are nowhere near as heavy, but still get that tactile feel. Fantastic. Love, love, love these. And they even have other weird games that aren't games necessarily. They have a box that is just for Splendor storage. If you have a game of Splendor and you kind of hate how much empty space there is, well, then you can throw that away and buy the Playte box, and now you have a nice, cozy, small box just for Splendor. They even this year are releasing a backgammon board in this tiny little box. Now, I have a nice, proper backgammon board, so I don't really need this, but this can be on the go, which is quite cool. They also got Rose King, which I forgot what the actual German name of it. This came out like a long, long time ago from Cosmos as their part of their two-player series. This is what I would consider to be a war gamers abstract, meaning that most Euro gamers, using the term very, very broadly, don't like much randomness or luck in their games. They're like, it's just like this. I go here and this happens. I go there and this happens. That's how they like their games. And there's nothing wrong with that. I like games like that too. War gamers like a little bit of randomness in there. They're very used to that, to kind of simulate the fog of war, because you never know what's going to happen. You can have the most amazing battle plans ever, but something always happens that we just didn't expect. And that's what Rose King does in this great abstract way. This was a fantastic game, and it was, I don't think it was ever released in America. It was in Germany for a very, very long time. And now it's picked up, and this Rose King comes in a tiny little box with great wooden components. Yeah, this is a great one to include in your container. But we're already here. We don't have that much space left, so I figured we've seen their medium, their large. Now let's go for one of the small box sizes, and I think we have to go with Depot. Depot is probably the newest game in this container. It is a clever card shedding ladder climbing game from Japan that came out this year. Jay, there are tons of ladder climbing shedding games. What's new? What's new about this one? Well, the twist for this one is that it's a game about stacking Amazon boxes. Yeah, not only do all the cards in the game look like Amazon boxes, the backs of the cards look like the bottom of Amazon boxes. So it's just great. It's fantastic. I love the theme. The mechanics that I love are how you could play sets and runs. So you could play multiples, pair, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, whatever. And you play like runs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 4, 5. But the size of your run and the size of your set is restricted by the tableau in front of you, meaning the main stack of games here. So you could either play a meld and then your other players will have to play a higher meld, or you could pass. And when you pass, you change that tableau in the middle. So your cards that are in your hand that are once strong might be forced to be smaller, and you might have to break up those combos. Really, really fascinating design. What I love about this game is that clever twist of changing what you have. Most ladder climbing shedding games are all about building the best hand that you can, or building something really strong, hitting that out, everyone passes, and you throw away some garbage. Not with Depot. Depot has a much more ebb and flow to it, and that passing and building your hand and changing what can be played is a great way to interact with your opponents passively and forcing them to cut up their good hand. You're building a better hand, but at the same time, you're forcing your opponents to break that up and breaking it to pieces. And so you're gambling on what do you think you can get away with. I'm going to keep this up, so when the cards are right, when it comes to my turn, I can lay out something big. Or do I just piecemeal it now while I can? And I really like that tactical decision in the spare of the moment. Now, because of that, I can't really recommend this game at the 5-player count. Usually at the 5-player count, the game state can change quite rapidly, and you won't have time to really prepare or bounce back from that. I think this works best by far at the 3-player count. 4 is a bit okay, but 3 is absolutely perfect. It's the right amount of length just so you can play more cards and change the game state just a little bit before you play more cards again. But what I absolutely love about this version of Depot, as opposed to the original version of Depot, is that it's a taller box. No, is this. This came with stickers. And this says Depot, 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 Depot. And this is a sticker that I put on there. And you can see how, come on, open, how the sticker curves around. And it just says Playte. Adorable. And then this thing here is a sticker, and then this little yellow thing is a sticker. You put it on there to simulate as if it were a package. I mean, they came here on this one, but I just want to put it on this side. And I think it's so cool that they added these little stickers here so you could decorate your own Depot box however, which way you wanted. And you could decide not to put the stickers there. But I mean, why would you not put the stickers there? It's cool. And I love that Playte gave players a chance to kind of mark their own box. Really clever, really fun, a very unique ladder climbing shedding game, and the last piece to put into your container. Oh, almost not quite. There's a little bit of space here. We're going to take the 2025 catalog of Playte that has all their games in alphabetical order, and then just slide that in. And there is your container. Welcome to the deep end. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, please comment below and let me know what your favorite Playte game is, or what classic game from the aughts you would like to see Playte tackle next. For my money, I really hope they get Concordia. Concordia in a tiny little box like this, perfection. Once again, my name's Jay. I play board games from Asia and share what I find with all of you. If you love board games from Asia as much as I do, you definitely want to check out our next video. See you there.